Historic building in Portland's Old Town area is set to be demolished soon. The Yamaguchi Hotel on Northwest 4th and Gleason is one of the last remaining buildings that was owned and operated by Japanese Americans prior to World War II. Brian Clerkley joins us now. And Brian, it was labeled a hazardous building years ago, and it would need millions of dollars in repairs to bring it back up to code.
Yeah, Brittany, it's the last historic building on that block, built in the late 1800s. It was ran by Japanese Americans. The Japantown neighborhood served as a hub for Japanese immigrants and grew into a thriving community. Blanchet House currently owns the building, and the nonprofit does not have the money to restore it.
These are buildings that, for me as an artist, hold stories. They hold our memories, they hold our history.
Chisel Hata is the creative director of the Living Arts program at the Japanese American Museum of Oregon. She's awaiting the demolition of the historic Yamaguchi Hotel, which represents a lot to the Japanese American community. There was a ceremony Sunday to honor the building. Origami cranes placed on the fence in remembrance. This hotel was built sometime in the late 1800s. It's in what was known as Japantown, which was operated and owned by Japanese immigrants. The Yamaguchi family managed the hotel on the upper floors of the building from 1921 to 1941. Hata hates that the hotel is being demolished.
So the buildings are basically neglected, and it's hard to understand how there can't be pride in whatever you have possession of. But, you know, demolition by neglect is really something that's been happening in this area for a long time.
The homeless outreach nonprofit Blanchet House has owned the old building since 1958. It wasn't until 2012 that they moved meal service and shelter beds to a new building next door. Vacant 11 years, the building was deemed unsafe by the city because of falling bricks. A fence was put up around it for safety, and the nonprofit says it doesn't have the millions of dollars to restore the building and bring it to code.
As many as a few years ago, the building was not in the shape that it's in today. And so not saying that, you know, they may not have money or whatever their reasons are for this, it could have been prevented had we all worked together sooner.
Blanchet House came to an agreement with the Japanese American Museum of Oregon to preserve some parts of the building. Once it's demolished, Blanchet House hopes to create a health clinic and a shelter for women.
And still no word on the exact date the building will be demolished. The physical pieces of the building that will be preserved by Blanchet House will be available for the Japanese American Museum of Oregon to display inside the museum. Brittany?
All right, Bryant, thank you.